who would have ever thought that delivering the mail would have been a lot of fun in a video game? And that's exactly what I recently experienced with Lake. I played it on the Series X. Really fun game. You play as a woman named Meredith Weiss, and she's leaving her life in the big city for a while to take over a job as the postman for her father, I believe it was. And you're in this town of Providence Oaks, Oregon, and it's a lake town, and the whole entire town is surrounded by the lake. Anybody that lives in Oregon, you know exactly where I'm talking about. But I looked this lake up myself, in this whole entire town, and it's a beautiful place in real life. But anyway, in the game, you are delivering packages, but it's so much more than that. It's basically, I don't want to say come of age, because you're already a full-grown adult, but it's more like coming to realization in your life. Midlife crisis meets like deciding where you want to be in your stage of your life at that point as an older woman. But basically, she goes around and you play her character delivering mail and packages, letters, but there's also other missions in between. Like, the townspeople have all kinds of things going on and drama and stories. And one that really sticks out to me is the video rental store owner in the town actually had moved, I believe, I know it was from Cali, but I think it was from Los Angeles, and she had moved to this small town to get out of the hustle and bustle of the big city, and she opens up this rental store that's not doing so hot, and it actually ends up closing because there's a couple missions you need to do in between, and you're trying to help her keep it open with a sort of like modern day like Gamefly, but with movies type deal. And she kind of falls in love with you, so to speak, and you could go down that route if you want to. And there's other love interests within the game, and I'm not going to spoil all of it and release all the characters. You need to play yourself to find all that out. But this game is absolutely awesome. It's a chill game. It's laid back. If you just want to relax, lay on the couch, sit in your chair, gamer chair, just have a good time. It's a really fun game, honestly. The graphics are beautiful. It's super serene. It's got lots of animals and like nature in the game. The weather elements are really cool and change up. There's farmland. There's even more modern things. It does take place in the 80s, so it's a little bit dated. But Meredith actually, the backstory of her is she actually had left the town that she grew up in Providence Oaks 20 years ago and coming back. So there's a lot of people that you run into that some people welcome you with open arms, but other ones are kind of iffy because you leave on kind of a bad term, so to speak. But you mend that in between. And there's actually 3 outcomes to the game in the end that you need to decide. I did every single outcome. I did 100% complete the game with every outcome. And the one outcome is leave on a RV that this like hippie like couple leave to you, or you can stay in Providence with your love interest. I'm not going to mention who it is. And the other option is actually to leave and go back to the big city and go back to your old job, and where you're, well, you don't go back to your old job, you go back to like a newer thing that you find out that's going on the whole time while you're there, and you're like a part of this multi-million-dollar deal anyway. But it's a lot of fun. It has beautiful music. I'm actually going to insert it here because I'm not monetizing and I'm not truly worried about that, and I'm just supporting it, and I'm a big fan, and I'm usually a metalhead, and a lot of you guys know that, but the one song in this game just really serenaded with me, and I will play a little clip of that now.
When the autumn leaves are playing chases, puts a smile up on my face.
But yeah, like the game and the music is just awesome in this game, and it really fits, what's going on in the whole setting and everything. I highly recommend this game. The only issues that I saw was every now and then, it wasn't too often, I think it only happened maybe twice for a brief second, but I don't know if that was the actual game or if it's that the Series X was running faster than what the game could keep up or whatnot. But sometimes the dialogue, when the people would talk, wasn't matching up with their mouths, and it kind of put you in the mind of like the old Japanese type films, you know, like when you heard somebody go, "I thought you were," you know, that style. But besides that, I didn't really notice there was not really anything bad about this. Like, it ran pretty smooth and I had a really good time. I know that a couple people had recently told me that there was a couple issues on Xbox One, and somebody else had reached out. I don't know if it was the PC version, but I know there was a couple issues there, but it seemed to run pretty smooth on the Series X anyway. But yeah, really solid game. Think you guys should check it out. I give it a solid 9 out of 10 for being the type of game it is. Puts you in the mind of, you know, if you like the games like The Walking Dead, Telltale, any of the Telltale games, really. It's sort of like that, except more like adventure, really, style. But it's choose your own adventure style, you know. The choices you make determine your fate in the game, and it's just a solid playthrough. So I highly recommend it. But you guys know the drill. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.